Hey everyone, welcome. I just decided to pop on to do a live right now. So this morning I actually did a post and it's about an upcoming workshop that I have, but in the picture it's demonstrating me working with one of my clients and working on hip flexor strength. And it is interesting because the last little while there has been a lot of questions about hip flexors. So I thought that we would talk about that today, and if you have any questions, I'll try to get to them, so you can type them in the chat box. So hip flexors, often when it comes to hip flexors, what I see is people are feeling like their hip flexors are really tight, and this may be the case, but very often it's actually that they are weak. And so we always, or I in myself, tend to get that feeling like you just really want to stretch the front of your hip. It's feeling really, really tight. I'm not saying stretching is bad for the hip flexors, because you definitely want to get some strength, but more times than not, I find that we need to strengthen those hip flexors. And I've posted quite a few little videos in the last little while about strengthening our hip flexors, but I thought today we could try some of those. So let me know if you have any questions about your hip flexors. I'll try to get to them all. If you have a couple of blocks, you can grab blocks, or even if it's not a block, you can use like a coffee cup or water bottle or something, just an object to use. And before we get into that one, we're going to start by laying down on the belly. And take your forehead down onto your hands and just let your legs be pretty loose here. You can even shake the hips side to side. And start to notice your pelvic tilt that you have going on. So some of us will have more of an anterior pelvic tilt. Some of us will have more of a posterior pelvic tilt. Try to find a neutral spot for your alignment. And when it comes to moving in the hips, there's lots of different muscle groups that we want to work with. And we want to make sure that everybody's doing their own job. So before we get into strengthening the hip flexors, let's wake up the glutes and the hamstrings so that we can come into that hip extension, that area that you're craving to stretch. Bend the right knee and send the sole of the foot towards the ceiling. Now, without rolling to one side, see if you can keep the front of your hips planted down to the floor and start to lift your foot up or press your foot up towards the ceiling so that you can feel your hip press into the floor. Maybe your knee comes up off the floor and come down. Now, this is an area that I am working on a lot on my own, so you'll even see that it's not working or it's not moving very much. We're engaging the hamstring, engaging the glutes, send the foot up and bring it down. So we're strengthening the back body here. Don't forget to add your questions in the comments and I'll try to get to them in a moment. So lift the hip, or press the foot up, squeeze the back body, so we're squeezing the glute and the hamstring, and bring it down. Try not to rock and roll from side to side. Let's do one more. Press up, engage the back body, and bring it down. Lovely. Move to the other side. If you're finding that too challenging, you can always just keep the legs straight and work on trying to do an isometric movement in the glute, just squeezing the glute and relaxing. Let's bend the left knee, send the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. Engage and lift. Might not be very visible on the video, but I have a lot more range of motion and strength in this side. Bring it down. Engage, squeeze the hamstrings, the glutes. Feel the hip press into the floor as you feel the knee lift away from the floor. And bring it down. Let's do two more. Engage the back body, press and lift. And release it back down. And one more, engage the back and press. Oh, I don't mean your back, I mean your glutes and your hamstrings. And relax. Lovely. So now that we've woken up the back and the back part of our body understands what it's supposed to be doing, let's wake up the front part. Using your blocks, I love blocks just because they have the 3 levels, level 1, level 2, level 3. Let's start at level 1 and place them just on the outsides of your legs sitting up tall. If you need to place your hands behind you to help you get your spine nice and tall, use that as a little bit of a kickstand. Flex at the ankles, pulling the toes up towards your knees. Engage your abdominals to help everything be nice and strong. Start to lift one leg up as high as the block, move out to the side, and then set it down. And you'll feel everything in the front of your body start to work. Engage the core, lift that leg up, bring it back in, and set it down. Moving to the other side, engaging everything. Send the foot straight up first. Feel that lift. Come out to the side, let it slice, AB duct, and then set it down. Engaging everything again, lift it up. Now AD duct, bring it back in, and then set it down. If you found that okay, then maybe you want to move to a little bit of a higher height. If you found that you couldn't even get your leg over, then just take that object away and just work on lifting up, moving, and sitting down as much as you can. Let's challenge ourselves on level 2. Sitting up nice and tall. Dorsiflex the feet in, or the ankles in, lift the foot up. Try not to lean back, keep everything tall, slice out to the side, set her down. Let's lift her back up. Bring it in and down. Moving on to the other side. Keep sitting tall. If you're using your fingers, you can use your fingers behind you to let you sit tall. Lift it up, come out to the side, set it down, lift up, inwards, set it down. Not too bad. Okay, let's see if we can go on to level 3. Sometimes you end up knocking it over, and that's okay. Sitting up nice and tall. Lift that leg up. Slice to the side. Whoo, set it down. Getting a little spicy now. Lift that leg up. Bring her in. Oops, I almost hit it. Bring it down. Let's move on to the other side. Lift up, slice, and down. Engage the abdominals. Lift up, bring it in, and down. Now, if you're enjoying the challenge, you can also challenge yourself to move the blocks out farther. If you even want to move on one leg, you can place a couple of little objects and lift the leg up, out, down, down. Now, be careful that you're not turning your body too much. We want to keep the body still, straight forward towards the anchoring leg. Lift up, in, down. This is my challenging side. Up, in, down. Try it on the other side. Here we go. Lift up, out, down. Oh, I went really far on this one. Up, out, down. Excellent. Let's try coming back in. Up, in, down, up, in, down. I also like the challenge of taking the blocks sideways. Fingertips down. Lean back, maybe just a little bit. See if you can lift both legs up. Whoop, there we go. Out and down. Up, in, and down. And you can see I had to lean back to get myself to do that. And eventually I'm hoping that I can get myself forward and even leaning even more forward. So have fun with your mobility exercises that you're working on and challenging yourself. To see if you had any questions, let me know if you had any questions about those. And I will DM anybody back. So working on the hip flexors to gain strength, and if you're getting that little achy naggy pain or feeling like you just need to stretch that, perhaps that will help you out. So give those exercises a try, have fun with them, and send me your questions and I will try to get back. In the meantime, you can also check out some of my other videos that I've already posted about hip flexor strength. Bye!